there's film of it where like he's had all these multiple ribs broken, and there's film from inside of the jail of them carrying him like a side of beef, and they end up taking him in the car again, the same officers that originally brought him in, to the hospital, and then they say they took him out onto the sidewalk and tried to administer CPR, and James Chassie Jr. died there. That case got Portland in a lot of trouble, and there was a lot of scrutiny because of the Department of Justice got involved, and they did a statistical analysis and a big investigation in the Portland Police Bureau's treatment of people having a mental health crisis and people that are having a hard time, like mentally, while they're on drugs. And they found a statistical a frequency of people being really abused and hurt, especially ones that are mentally ill. And what cops are trained to do is something in their use of force continuum. It's ask, tell, make. Sir, can you not put your hands in your pocket? Get your hands out of your pockets. And then the third time, it's get your hands out of your pockets or I'm going to shoot you or you will be tased. Well, all that police get trained, for the most part, there's not a whole lot of de-escalation. There's not a whole lot of, de-escalation in their training. They're getting better here in Portland. They've changed their policies. They've changed the police academy. They've changed the use of force policy to try and conform with what the Department of Justice wants. But there still needs to be a lot of improvement. But all the officer sees is someone not complying, more often than not. And there's a very high frequency of people being abused in our jail here that have mental problems. They get picked on, hazed, treated as if though they're, garbage. Like I'm the guy everybody tells their horror stories to. My inbox isn't just the fluff news. When I wake up in the morning, I get to hear all the stories about, hey, guess what happened to me when I was in jail. But the people in the jail here in Portland, Oregon, the COs, the screws, or the sheriff's deputies, whatever you want to call them, they have this fun little tradition that if you get on their nerves, they just turn the water off in your cell for 2.5 days. So you're looking like somebody's been walking across the Sahara. Your lips are cracked and they're bleeding, and you're literally on the verge, or sometimes even drinking your toilet water before they'll turn your water back on. And people that have a mental deficiency are even more abused and picked on in our jails than other folks, and there's statistics that prove that. So Portland has not met the expectations of Judge Simon, because there's a federal judge that they have to meet with every year and make a report to. They haven't met those expectations for as long as I've been in Portland. I've been in Portland since 2008.
Yeah, and the thing is Portland is a good example where at least there's it looks like there might be some improvement. But another good example of bad police departments is Baltimore, which is notoriously corrupt. What was it? The one guy who got his back broke and ends up dying in a rough ride in a police vehicle, and the exposure.
Freddie Gray,
I couldn't remember the name there. Yeah, but the Freddie Gray incident is another great example of just bad police departments run amok and they start killing people. And then we have what was it? It was over in Arizona, right, with the homeless guy that got shot by the cops that were responding in a swamp manner when all he was doing was he was camping in the foothills outside of town.
Yeah, I can't remember that fella's name, but I was made very angry about that when it happened years ago. If you give me a sec, Bunny, just talk to him and I'll find that.
But the thing is we have various instances where bad policing have caused a loss of life needlessly because bad officers are allowed to run amok. And we see this time and time again, where if there is a bad officer that is not reined in or is not thrown out of the force, eventually they're going to do something stupid and cause a loss of life and cost the taxpayers tons of money. A good example would be the gypsy cop that shot the Tamir Rice over there in Cleveland, where they sat there and they came up with the brilliant idea: we're going to roll the car up right next to this kid who's got what appears to be a handgun, which was in all reality just an airsoft little pistol thing that shoots pellets at really low speeds, and they shot and killed him in front of his sister. This is a major issue within the police departments, that these bad police officers are not being properly dealt with. They're allowed to keep their license when they are chased out of a police force and hop into another one, when literally at best they should probably be just working a security detail for a private security company or something like that. They really shouldn't be armed. They shouldn't be out there enforcing laws, because they're going to try to bully people, and it will cost people's lives, and it will cost the taxpayer. It's one of the reasons why we have high expectations for cops, but often when you go look at some of these smaller towns and stuff like that, the high expectations not upheld. And just because we need someone to do it, we're willing to overlook stuff. Or with some police departments, we pay too little, we don't have the tax revenue, and so we're gonna skimp out on the requirements kind of stuff.
Yeah, I got that information for the viewers. Yeah, I'll just send you a link to the video, and we can show the viewers. Yeah. But I'll talk about this for a second. The man's name was James Boyd, and he was a homeless camper up on a hill in out in Arizona. I think it was outside of Phoenix, and no, it was Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sorry. Here's the thing. So much about the James Boyd thing infuriates me, but one of the things is that there is a 2-hour video that you can find online of cops waiting at the edge of the perimeter. They set up black and white cops, the Dodge Chargers, around his campsite that was up on a hill. It was like a 30-degree gradient angle. It was about he was probably about 100 foot off the ground. The cliff went from level ground to about 100 feet up, and they established a perimeter, and they're talking for about 2 hours. And one of the officers that shot him was joking about shooting him in his dick. That's his words, shooting him in the penis. And he was shot in the abdomen right beside his manhood. So this guy's agitated and he's got a knife, but he's way up the hill, and there's helmet cam video of this, and it's very disturbing. But what they do to quote unquote calm him down, okay, they bring a canine unit up and menace him. They surround him and slowly start closing a circle with long rifles, and then they throw a flashbang grenade beside him, to startle him. Then they shoot him. Then they maul him with a dog and shoot him with less lethal beanbag round. Like, all of this was just all kinds of wrong. They should have established a perimeter and had a hostage crisis negotiator talk to him for a few hours, not slowly close on him like he's an enemy combatant